I just need to tell you before we talk about anything. So I've been on the road for 20 days
That's crazy.
and it's been fun. Okay. I've been flying everywhere.
Mm,
Yesterday, the plan was to fly from Dallas to Kalispell, Montana, because I have a wedding here.
yeah.
My layover was Denver. So we're flying around Denver and
Mm,
like they were like, all right, we're going to descend. And we never did. And they're like, oh, there's thunderstorms. So we just circled Denver for like an
yeah.
hour. And they kept saying like, oh, give us like 20, give us 30, give us 20. Like
Uh,
took forever. So I was like, oh, it's annoying, whatever. Like, let's just land. So then he goes, oh, they just shut down Denver. We have to land in Colorado Springs because we don't have enough gas to keep circling.
oh my gosh.
So I was like, dude, that sucks. Whatever. So we land there. And then the dude goes, he's like, there's 12 planes ahead of us. There's nowhere for us to gate. So I just want everyone to be as patient as possible. I don't even want to estimate how long we're all going to be here. Like, thanks. Boom, click. And then he comes back and he's like, all right, they're bringing out fuel trucks, but they have to go one by one. So we're like the 12th plane in line. So I was like grounded. I've always heard horror stories about people who are grounded on like
Yeah.
airplanes that can't go anywhere.
Mm.
It's never happened to me until yesterday. So like everyone's in the plane for 3 hours, like just not moving.
Oh my gosh.
So that sucks, right?
So
That's the
3 hours after you landed.
yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah. So that sucks. And then finally, like they fill up our plane. They're like, all right, we'll go to Denver. There's a plane leaving for Kalispell like in 10 minutes. So I run, I make it. It's dope.
mm.
Landing Kalispell at like 1:30 a.m. Of course, my bag's not there.
Oh,
Classic.
oh
Like
my
I said, I'm here
gosh.
for a wedding. So I go to the front and I'm like, yo, I kind of figured this because I like ran to catch the plane.
Yeah.
She's like, okay, it's good. There's a lot of flights from Denver to Kalispell. The first one's at 11 a.m. Here's your little code thing, whatever.
Mm.
So here we are today. No call at 11, no call at noon, no call at 1. So I type in my little code and it says they're still looking for my bag. Can't find it
Oh,
anywhere. And that all happened 20 minutes before I hopped on this call. So that's where we are. I have an alcoholic drink in my hand because there's no way I would be able to do anything else. So here we are. Let's start the podcast. But this has like been the most insane 24 hours to have ever happened ever.
welcome back to the 8th episode of the Groff Show podcast. We have a special podcast today. Never thought I'd be interviewing someone from the opposite side. Played college football at the other school. I don't know what it's called. The other school in Montana.
This school that's won 4 in a row is
The
what
Kitty
what we're
Cats.
called.
The Kitty Cats.
4 in a row university is what we're called, actually.
Okay. And he's now the producer and a host at Bleacher Report. Ladies and gentlemen, Wes Wilson, bro. Appreciate you coming on, dude.
What's up? I also just noticed our mustache vibes we both have today.
It's a
which is
mustache
sick.
season. I appreciate. Yeah, I had a dye mine because mine's a little light, being blonde myself, so I kind of had to dye it a little bit. It's kind of running out of.
I'm like a dirty blonde guy, but I try to go instead of full shave, I just go like 1-2 here, so it's not fully on an island, and it just looks like you're kind of like, is that a mustache? Is it not? It is, and then just carry on from there.
So, what'd you study at MSU, and how was your time there?
So I studied marketing in Bozeman, but I did business because I didn't know what I was gonna do, So I thought business, which business is a very like generic degree,
Yeah.
You kind of just like learn about like, I don't want to say nothing because that's rude, but you're just learning about like how like things work. Obviously, great place to go to school because Missoula and Bozeman both have like incredible, fan bases and like sports communities. But even just living there, like kind of a touristy town because of Yellowstone and like the ski resorts and stuff. So there's always good food, like good breweries, good people and stuff. I had an absolutely like fabulous time. And I brag about Montana now, wherever I'm living, like back in Missouri or like in New York or whatever, that like Bozeman and Montana is like the best place ever. So
how in the world did Bleacher Report find you?
When I was in New York, I did like, this kind of like what everyone does, but like shitty entry-level sales job, right? So like it was a bunch of like young people, so it was like cute girls, funny guys, but like the job itself, like not fun.
Yeah.
So they kind of make like the atmosphere fun, and they're like, go to happy hour, do all this stuff to kind of like trick you into like hanging out there forever. So I was doing this sales job. I was horrible at it. like just I couldn't sell anything. I'm like not meant to do that.
Yeah.
But like I've edited videos and stuff like my whole life. I even did this thing in Montana, and I made these Montana summer videos that like they put on the news. It kind of was the first moment where I was like, oh, like maybe I have something here, but kind of like put it in my back pocket. But so then one of my best friends and I were like, let's do a food show in New York, which is actually what this hat I'm wearing is. It was called Napkins. So it's basically just a way to like scratch like a creative itch kind of thing and like have something to like do on the side that's not just like work.
Yeah, totally.
So we would find all these like food events in New York. We paid a camera guy and we just go around with mics, like do interviews, like try food, whatever. Our camera guy like looked legit too, so they would like let us in everywhere. It was dope.
That's sick.
So I made them into episodes, and then like I made an Instagram, and we kind of like sold some merch and stuff like that. And so it never really blew up per se, but I knew I'd always have that to like pitch if I ever got like an email back or like a phone call or whatever from like somewhere dope.
Yeah. So
I think we had like 9 episodes done, and I got fired from that sales job because I couldn't sell anything.
Oh,
like,
wow.
My best friend got fired. Not the same guy I did the food show with, but like my best friend at work got fired like on a Tuesday, and then I got fired on like a Monday. It's like high turnover, so it's not as like a big of a deal as it sounds, but they were like, you can't sell anything. I kind of knew it was coming. So I was sitting at home, dude, just like rapid fire applying to like Bleacher Report, ESPN, Barstool, Complex, Vice, like all the like cool media jobs that I like thought would be sick. And a few days later, I got an email that said, it said Bleacher Report, blah, 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 whatever. So I like double checked the job description, and the location said Las Vegas. And I was like, what? I was like, they don't have an office there. Really weird. Looked at it. And then I was like, I'm not going to move to Las Vegas. Like, why would I ever do that?
Yeah.
So
it's kind of a weird
spot.
City.
So I reread it, and they were like, oh, we're launching a betting account, like a betting channel. Our office is going to be in Caesars to like, and I don't sports bet at all. I think most like football players don't really sports bet that much, but every other friend of mine does. So I was like, I'll take the phone call and like just talk to him. And then I talked to enough people, and it was like a 6-month temp job where basically like you can go there, and if like you're trash at your job, they can like let you go, and it's not like they can fire you. It's just like it's over.
Yeah.
So I talked to enough people, and they're like, dude, good opportunity, go earn it, whatever. So I moved to Vegas like a week after that.
Wow.
And help them like start the like BR betting page, which was in Caesar's Palace and like a bunch of stuff. But it was like a really small team and like pretty new. So that's kind of how I got to like learn a lot, because there were no rules. So I was like, yo, do y'all care if I like do something on camera? Like if you guys just give me a microphone and like do it, like figure it out. So I kind of like, I just put myself on camera. They never like asked me to do anything, but so I did stuff like that, and then just kind of kept like trying to build that up. And then eventually the whole goal was to go back to New York and work for like the main Bleacher Report page. And then they hired me back in New York, like, dude, maybe a week before COVID shut the world down.
Okay. So you've been there for a while then. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's been like with Bleacher Report, it's been like a year and a half.
Okay.
No, actually it'll almost be 2 years, but with the main BR account, it'll be like a year and a half. But if they would have waited like a week to offer me the job, I bet they would have pulled it, because there was no sports for like 8 months after that. So I got super lucky, but it's a little bit of luck, a little bit of like taking a risk, and it all kind of like it all worked out together.
Well, obviously you got talent to do it too. So I mean that's awesome. But what's your role now? Well, what are kind of some things that you're doing now for Bleacher Report now that sports are coming back? Obviously, I saw you were on a video with Ocho Cinco too.
Ocho was like actually in Vegas the whole time I was there. They like paid him to be like kind of like the face of like BR betting. Like kind of like all this stuff.
The McGregor fight
Caesars.
too.
Yeah. So I worked with him a lot there. Dude, what's crazier now, okay, so technically my title is like producer, but like I'll do some editing, but also some hosting on camera and like some talent stuff. It's just like a whole crock of like everything. But coolest thing ever was, so like kind of as COVID rules were lifting, they like right when it happened, they sent us to Miami for the Jake Paul Mayweather fight,
Mm.
which is dope. Fights are so dumb because it's like 25 pressers where they just like fake talk shit and then they like fight for like 10 minutes and it's over.
Yeah.
But then they were like, hey, the match, the golf thing with like Tom Brady?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's how I found your Instagram, because of the whole. I'll let you speak.
No, you're good. They were like, hey, like the next match is coming up. Like we think it's gonna be in Montana. And I knew Tom Brady's always been like a Big Sky guy. Yeah. He has like a house there. So I interrupted a meeting and I was like, can y'all double check like where it is? Because if Tom Brady's in it, I guarantee it's like close to Bozeman. And like they found out like a few days later, they're like, oh, it's in Big Sky. So I was like, if you guys don't send me there, I'll go dig a hole and crawl in it. Because like the fact my second work trip after COVID literally was to fly into Bozeman, Montana. Like how nuts is that?
That's ironic. It's like, whoa.
Yeah. So they sent me there to like do the golf thing, and that was like Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, and those guys hitting golf balls at me. Your boy Larry Fitz was there.
Oh my gosh.
He was swinging.
That's sick.
So we did that. Dude, I went out to dinner with Charles Barkley. The dude drank 9 tequila on the rocks like at dinner. Just an absolute tank. That was super dope. And of course, the whole time I'm like telling them about Montana and like no one has any clue. No one has no clue what I'm talking about. But it was fun. And then that was even a part of this trip I'm on. Everything I packed for that a month ago is lost in Denver right now. But that aside,
you'll find it.
Then did MLB All Star Game a few weeks ago, and that was dope. I did like a Instagram story thing with like Quavo and stuff. It was it was dope. So it's all like we're like ascending at a rapid level right now, but it's very fun.
I want to go back to the match. So when they told you that you could travel to Big Sky, did you know that you were going to be in a range cart, or was that something that they were just like, oh, last second, like, hey, we're going to put you in a cart?
Yeah, last second. No one asked me. No one asked me, of course.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they were like, dude, you're gonna get in this cart, drive around, and we're also gonna put a megaphone in there, and you just have to like talk shit to him.
So handsome. I'm so over it.
What kind of pants is he wearing? Can you guys tell?
Why you want to know that?
I don't know.
They're probably custom too.
Something custom.
Yeah, they probably are custom.
Let's do it, boys. Let us know in the comments who hits the cart.
And I was like, to Tom Brady. I was like, Tom.
Yeah, I know.
Like, what am I gonna say? It helped for me that I like went out drinking with Charles Barkley the night before, so we like had already kind of like built a little friendship and like and like talk trash a little bit.
Chuck, do I need to scoot up? Hey, calm down, little fella.
But like Tom and Aaron and all those dudes like showed up that day, and they're like, all right, they were like if like Aaron's missing like the cart, like make jokes about like bringing a kicker in because it's like crunch time, blah blah blah, all this stuff. And I was like, dude, he's
Aaron
mean, dude. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so that was wild. But I mean, there were like 2 hosts in like one of my earpiece who like kind of like helped make it cool. And like,
yeah, I saw I was destroying an MMG. That's cool.
Yeah, those dudes were all nice though. There ended up being no problems, which thank God.
I saw you flinch like every time. Did you try not to flinch, or was it just
dude? So the cart was metal, like it was like a metal fencing. So you kind of like, and also because there's multiple people hitting, so it's not like you can like watch and like get ready. So if I'm watching like Larry swing the ball and then like that Cheyenne Woods.
Hey, there's a ball back there. Oh yes, do you see that, bro? It's rolling around.
Another one, bro. Dude, he is moving, and she's still on target.
She was nuts.
Nasty, dude.
Nuts.
Spraying the cart.
Is she
was probably the best one.
Is she a pro?
It's Tiger Woods' niece. She's a baller.
Jeez.
Straight baller. So if I'm looking at like Larry swing and like I see it like comes over the top and she hits like a rocket this way.
Yeah.
I'm looking here, like the metal fencing is so loud.
Oh my
So it's like boom and it like rattles everywhere.
Yeah.
And you think you'd like get used to it, but like it's coming at your face. Like anything coming at your face, you're gonna be like trying to duck and like hide your whole face. So
how long did you do it for?
It went by way quicker than it probably was. Like I think the first group was like 20 minutes, and then Tom and Aaron and like Phil and all those dudes, they had like it was like 10 balls a piece.
Oh
so
wow.
That one went super quick.
You got to meet all of them after, like in person?
So Aaron flew in that morning. It was all like pretty quick. And just kind of like, what's up? Like I'm gonna be the dude who's like yelling at you, like It's like a joke, but actually Aaron Rodgers works out in LA with do you know who Alex Singleton is? Have you heard that name?
That sounds familiar. Yeah.
So he was my roommate, like Bozeman people know. So he's my roommate at MSU who plays for the Eagles now.
Oh wow.
And so he works out at the same gym with Aaron, and he texted me before. He was like, yo, tell Aaron I said what's up, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, yo, Alex told me whatever. And he was like, oh, I love Alex. Nothing like super deep, but just kind of fun to
That's
be
a cool
like,
connection
mutual
to
friends.
have. Yeah.
Especially there when, dude, so that was produced by like, it was on Turner. It was on TNT, right? So it's like cable TV, dude, takes 90 old guys just running around with like cameras and wires like all day. So being just like the one young dude with like a hat on backwards, he was like, oh, this dude's like, it's all good. But
especially like 18 holes like that and stuff, because
so long, dude. The thing that's crazy is the people who are used to like cable TV and like all these big productions cannot fathom when like social media people show up and all we have are like it's just our iPhones, and people all the time they're like, where's your guys' equipment, where's like whatever. And we're just like, dude, it's literally just this. But
that's so sick.
90, probably like 80 to 90 very adult people like making this thing happen for cable, and then 2 mid 20-year-olds for all of Bleacher Report, who like gosh. I don't say we get more views than like TNT does, but it's kind of like it's a toss up.
That's so crazy. And you got free tickets to watch the match too. Like, were you just taking videos the whole time?
I had our own cart. I just kind of like rode behind Tom the whole time. Guys,
yo,
so sick. Did Charles Barkley tell you any funny stories when you guys were at the bar?
This is actually funny. We had a big argument about if anyone could ever be as famous as Michael Jordan was, like in his prime. And the unanimous decision was no, because, and this is like, it's maybe not even that funny, but it's just like, I think it's kind of interesting. We were talking about, obviously he was telling all of his stories, like they had to have like 8 security guards like block off a pool table so that they could like play a game of pool, like like 90s. Because people were just like freaking out. But the consensus was that like now, because of phones and social media and all that stuff, like everyone is kind of like famous to a degree, right? Like like even like the 6 man for like the T-Wolves, people know who he is. He's like got probably 30-40K follow. Like everyone is kind of famous. So there's like such a big like slopier spectrum for like how famous people can be. But Michael Jordan in the 90s, like no one was famous besides him and like Michael Jackson. Like those 2 dudes were like the face of everything, because you get your news from like newspapers, ESPN, and like word of mouth. And so all people talked about was just Michael Jordan. And so everyone at that table, that was like the big argument of the night, which was actually very, very interesting to like.
That is interesting. Do you think LeBron's more famous than he is, or you think still
no? And MJ? I think someone tried to argue it, and he was like not even close.
Yeah,
because
after watching
all these high school games,
that's
and
true.
he's like he can go to these high school games, and people are like respectful enough to like leave him alone. Charles was saying that Michael Jordan could not go anywhere without getting absolutely mobbed by like hundreds of people.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Then you went to Denver for the celebrity softball game and the All Star game. Talk about that experience.
That was probably the funnest like trip thus far.
Did they after your experience at the match and after what you did at the match, were they like, oh my gosh, like you should do this too? Or how did that come into fruition?
Before the match, like it was all planned before. But they said, hey, you're gonna do an IG story with Quavo. And I was like, okay, like not a big deal.
Yeah.
So I show up. I met his I don't know if it's his PR lady or like his assistant or whatever. She was like, hey, I want you to meet. I call him Quay now because we're close, so we call him Quay. But she was like, I want you to meet Quay so he knows who like he's working with downstairs. And I was like, oh, for sure, yeah. So we go up. She's like, Quay, this is Wes. Like, he's from Bleacher Report. You guys are going to be doing the Instagram thing down there. And I was like, cool. We dapped up. He went away. Pretty reserved, like, at first, I think. Like, not overly, like, lovey-dovey or anything. So we go down. We're, like, in the tunnel before everyone goes out. That actually was a moment where I looked around and I was like, dude, I'll probably never be in, like, a confined area with this many very, very famous people at once. That was Quavo, Steve Aoki, Anthony Mackie, you know, the dude from
of course, Marvel,
Marvel,
Captain
DK Metcalf, Von Miller, all those little TikTok teenagers who have like a gazillion followers who I don't even know why they're famous.
I don't really
they
give
are.
a damn.
Yeah, there were a lot of famous people all in just in this little area. Hunter Pence from the Giants. I don't know if you know who that is.
Yeah.
Dude, he was down there. And we were all just like, and I was just kind of standing there like, dude, I'm so much less important than everyone here. It's insane. But that was one of those moments where you're like, damn. But then, so then we go out and I was like, hey, we'll just do like a quick intro, blah, 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 blah. And like, kind of like do something little, leave him alone, do a little something. And then just kind of as the day went on, he, kind of like let his guard down and was like, he'd like walk off the field after like a strike or something. He was like, you like that? And like, we had fun. But my job was basically just to like let him have fun and kind of like host like the IG story that day. And so I'd be like, I was like, Quavo, just take my phone and like go like selfie mode. Like,
you know what? Bleacher Report take over celebrity baseball, softball. Pitching the softball.
That way, which way we hit?
That way.
That way.
Yes, sir. Tell him that.
All the way that way, baby. You know?
Okay.
Wherever you want. And so like my camera right now is like 20 videos of Quavo just like he's like, yo, like what's up with the fans and like a bunch of other people.
That's sick.
Literally that way. And that way, excuse me. And it was dope. That was the funnest day for sure.
Crazy. I didn't realize DK could throw a baseball.
Second deck.
Nope. Oh yeah, they dropped it.
Well, what? How high was that? Like,
yeah, but if you really thought about it, that's the biggest dude you've ever seen.
Is he that big in person? Was it like?
Yeah, he's massive. He's all kind of nice. Like he's kind of just like cute and nice.
Yeah.
He's super polite to everybody. I liked him.
Then you went to the home run derby, and I saw after you were downtown with Pete Alonso.
So that
because he won it, didn't he? He won the home run derby.
Dude, this is the craziest shit. Pete Alonso won the home run derby and then goes out in Denver immediately following. No one knew who he was at all.
Wow.
Yeah. Which I think that would probably be the case maybe with a lot of baseball guys, but like, dude, he wore just like a tan t-shirt. He had this like fake corny spinny like derby champ chain. Like it wasn't real, which I think maybe made it like look worse than
what, like there's no way you won it. There's no way.
Yeah, exactly. Like that corny ass chain is not the guy who won the home run derby. But so that's dude, I was there with a friend who works for House of Highlights, who's like she's from New York. She knows Pete Alonso's wife, I guess, like they're friends growing up. So she was like, hey, you guys should come out with us, blah, 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 at some like bar that was like maybe 25% full. And we just like, Pete just walked in, took maybe like 3 pictures max. And we just hung out. And then the thing that went viral was a TikTok of all the like girls shutting their bar down at like midnight, I guess. I don't know if it's like a COVID thing or if it was like, cause it was during the week, but we're just like sitting there with our drinks. It was just like me, Pete Alonso with his like derby champ, like shiny ass chain on. And she's like, get out, we're closing, like, see ya. And Pete Alonso's just like, dude. And the funniest thing is if you watch that video, on the bar behind her is ESPN playing the home run derby. And it's like him winning. And we were all just like,
he's like, turn around there.
Just look.
What? That's crazy.
Dude. Their boss probably gave them an absolute earful the day after. But I mean, I guess if it's for the content, then who cares at this point? But
Oh, what are some dream events coming up that you want to go to? What are some?
Well, now it's football. So that's
Yeah.
that's all.
The opportunities are endless.
Yeah. So, dude, here's the thing. So I was telling you about the food show I did in New York.
Mm.
My like dream content is like food and sports media like this.
Mm.
So I think approaching football season, I'm gonna try and pitch as many like tailgatey or like team
That'd be
bar,
cool.
team
Yeah.
bar type like content ideas that I can think of, because it's like people always think like tailgate food, blah blah, blah duh. But then also like every team or like city has like a few bars that are like staples in the city that like this is where Cardinals people go before every game or like after games, or if
Yeah.
you can't go to the game, you go here and like, you know, get food or whatever. And so I think there's so many avenues there that like I'm gonna try really hard this fall to like see how I can like pivot food stuff to get them to like green light me to like, obviously the dream is like go to Kansas City, eat burn-ins and like ribs for a day, go to the Chiefs game, fly home. But
me Pat Mahomes and fly home.
yeah, exactly. Do you guys think I could go get barbecue with Pat Mahomes for content and then I'll come back? And they're like, yeah, dude, just do it.
Like on a Thursday or something, just bring them along. No, that's
like,
a cool idea.
But that's an idea though.
Yeah.
Or like a Monday when players have off, like Travis Kelce, favorite restaurant in Kansas City. Like, let's go.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool too to like have a microphone or something, go around like before games, like tailgate to tailgate, maybe try some food and be like, what are your thoughts on the game? Like stuff like that too would be kind of ironic because there's some tailgate fans that like have specific foods or like special foods that you don't know about.
Oh, exactly. Well, yeah. That's weird you say that, dude, because we were talking about that on a call today, because we were all talking about like the classic like Kansas City barbecue, like Chicago like Italian beefs, Philly cheesesteaks. Like, there's the classic ones you like always think of. But then like those teams probably have so many other different like staples that you would never think. Like, what is Arizona like? If you're going to tailgate before a Cardinals game, is there something that you will like always make sure you eat?
Well, we didn't tailgate a whole lot before. Not gonna lie, we were kind of with some fans that we knew, but I would say maybe like nachos or any Mexican food because Arizona is like super known for the Mexican food. So I would say that try to eat as much as you could before going in because actually we used to have like these food cards that we used to get with our season tickets. So like we had to spend this much money at the end of the year for concessions. So, like by the last game, you're going home with like all these like candy bars and peanuts because it's like you have to spend the money or it's gone.
Nice.
So
does
let's
that
say
go
like,
with like your season tickets? It's like
nice. So like let's say you invested like I don't know, we had 4 people $1,000 for food. Oh, what are you
like
saying?
That's a story already. Boom.
Yeah.
At you know, if you're a Cardinal season ticket holder, like we show up week 17, I guess it's 18 now, and like tell the story of like Cardinals fans who have to like unload their like food cards. See, that's dope. Like that's already a story. I would watch that.
Bleacher Report's expanding ever since like we were middle school. It was just like an app, and then you know House of Highlights came and they're like partnering with TNT and stuff. Like talk about because you work there now, obviously. Talk about the expansion of Bleacher Report and like where you think it's gonna take off because now it's becoming like, basically it's becoming like live TV is what Bleacher Report's turning into. And I know you work for is it Bleacher Walk Off?
Yeah, that's like the newest page we've like dropped. So that's a good question. I don't think anyone's ever actually asked me that, but
let's go.
Yeah, huge. It's almost kind of like I wonder if it's less like where Bleacher Report is going, but more like where the internet and where like content is going. And then I think Bleacher Report is big enough that we'll always be able to like be a few steps ahead of everyone else. Like, so right now it's basically like what Bleacher Report, Barstool, ESPN kind of.
I would say ESPN's kind of going. They're too old school.
Complex is dope. They're like just trying to get into sports, but they do a good job with like other types of news and media and stuff.
Yeah.
But dude, it's all so quick. Like everything is all about time now, dude. Because no one watches anything longer than like 3 minutes on their phone max. Instagram, the longest video can be 60 seconds. Yeah. It's all about just like how can you hook people in like the first like 2 seconds of them like swiping something. So it's all about like it's all about that first impact. So it's like, what famous people can you find, what like whatever. So like Bleacher Report started, it was all articles. Like Bleacher Report started as like journalists and like guys who like wrote stuff. And it is, they like, we just chopped off our like last bit of like writers, you know, which sad. And I like that because that kind of made me feel like it was like a very like official kind of like journalistic company.
Yeah.
But they know, dude, everyone gets everything from their phone now, and it's all about visuals and like quickness. Not people don't want to read articles anymore, which makes some people sad, but it's all about like phones. Everything that, you know, like media, like I don't know how cable is still a thing, to be honest, because people are just so like here all day long. But
yeah, I think Bleacher Report's kind of turning more I guess not explicit, but more, I guess, free, kind of like Barstool is. You know, they're not more as like official as like, let's say, ESPN, like no cuss and stuff like that.
No, we're right. We're definitely in the middle between ESPN, very formal, like cut and dry. Barstool, obviously say whatever they want, can do whatever they want. I do think we are like a good kind of like middle ground between that. I think we know where our audience is, like right in between those two.
Yeah.
And it plays. So.
What's your typical day in the life, I guess, working wise for Bleacher Report?
It's been work from home just because of COVID for the last like year and a half, obviously. But when you're like at events, like that stuff can be all day long, and that can be Friday, Saturday, Sunday, like that's whenever. It's like it's fun stuff. Like I'm never gonna be mad like, oh, I had to go to the home run derby on like Sunday. You know what I mean?
Bummer, like damn.
Yeah. But like if a normal day, like without anything crazy or like cool happening, it's usually like a morning meeting. You probably have like 2 or 3 like content, like brainstorm storyline meetings where you talk about like
that's so
what happened that week, what like, you know, what drama's going on, whatever. Or then like, how can you turn that into something original or like some kind of content? There's always like 1 or 2 projects that like I have to like have like looming over my shoulders that I have to like finish at some point. So it's not horrible as in like you're like stressed out all day, but it's like there's always stuff to do, you know?
Yeah.
But like, dude, trying to tell my grandma what I do every day, dude, would never be possible. Like we have a 2K sim brainstorm at 3, and then I have to like make a TikTok and post it by like 6 and edit that. And she'd be like, dude, what on earth?
How's life in New York? What were some things you had to adjust to?
I appreciate the like hustle and bustle and crowdedness and like all these people like commuting to work on the train and stuff like that. Like I think that's cool, but I also understand why like people hate it. Like my dad would never like, my dad's a big like cowboy ranch guy. And that's his like nightmare, you know?
Yeah.
But there's something about it, just like so many people, I don't know, that maybe I'm the weird one that I like find it like fun and kind of like fascinating, but
that's me too.
There's always stuff happening. Like getting home from work is the hardest task I've ever had in my entire life in New York City.
How so?
Just trying to like walk home, dude. You walk by literally 7 billion bars from work to your house.
Yeah.
And like half your office is going to happy hour. 1/4 of your office is going to a Yankees game. Like a 10th are going to like the park to like go play like kickball. Like, dude, it is insane, but in the best way. Not for your wallet, not financially. It's not good for you. Not for your liver. For your like mental health, it's fun. It's a fun place if you can like keep up. Okay, you know something insane?
Yeah.
United just texted me. I was on hold with them to like their texting app.
Yeah.
I don't know if people won't believe this. They literally just said, currently we are experiencing an earthquake. Please text us in a few minutes. Is that a joke, dude?
What?
Oh my God, dude. Currently we are experiencing an earthquake. Please reach out later after a few minutes. We need to evacuate from the office. My bag is in a black hole in outer space. I can't believe that just happened.
All live on the podcast, baby. Let's go. The live reaction. Bro, drink up.
Oh my God, dude. Oh, and guess what? Best part. Everyone can probably guess. But before you go, please answer the following 3 questions about your experience. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh, dude, I'm crying. That's insane.
What's the future for West at Bleacher Report or just in general?
Try to be at some type of Bobcat football game this fall, first off. I went to Cat Grizz last time they played.
I don't want to talk about it.
Ever.
I don't want to talk
Were you on
about
the
it.
field? Were you dressed? Were you there?
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I was turned.
One of my buddies got spit on by a fan. So
by a Grizz fan, you mean?
No, by
All right, this podcast. We'll talk to you guys later. So the goal for me of Bleacher Report, like we kind of touched on this earlier, is as you guys know, Bleacher Report has like all those like different accounts. There's like kicks, betting, football, whatever. Yeah. I want Bleacher Report to have a BR like food page or like BR Bites or BR or something like that. So I don't really know how to make it happen just yet, but that's like a long-term goal for me. But short-term is going to be just like, you know, getting some football stuff going.
What advice do you have for people, I guess, like me who want to be like working either for Bleacher Report or like in that field too? Because I mean, if there's an opening, hit me up.
Advice, ask me on your podcast and then DM me after what openings there are. Kidding. No, 2 things. Like one, I think you have to figure out like what, like you can't just try to get like a cool job and like not know what you're like good at. People always say like, oh, I love sports, but like everyone ever loves sports, right? So I've always said, find somewhere in the middle between what you're good at and like what you love. So if you can find something in between those 2 things, or even create something that's in between those 2 things, like figure out something you're good at that you can build on and it's something you love, so you don't get tired of like whatever that is.
Yeah.
And just go from there. And the other thing is like, bet on yourself is like this. It's kind of corny, I guess, but like,
no, yeah, that's good.
I mean, the hardest part literally about everything is starting the first, like just going from the 0% to like 10% is harder than the other 90, like getting everything started, kind of like getting the like courage to like finally post that like first video or like buy that microphone or like whatever, all those little things that like are the building blocks of like starting. Once you get over that hump, then it's just be yourself, do whatever. Like, yeah, sure. The first episode of yours, like there's so much extra like bullshit going on in your head than there is now. Right. Yeah. You already have like, once you get that momentum going, you'll cruise. And so like, you're not going to get these like crazy jobs or like get to where you want to be without like doing shit on your own, especially now when all these like TikTokers, YouTubers, all that stuff comes from them just doing shit on their own in their house. Like, yeah, start something. Exactly. And it doesn't have to be, you don't have to get famous from it, but like have something to show people that like you'll take initiative and you like know how to like own something and people will like that. And so for me, it's taking those first steps. Actually, I'll like end with this. I saw a quote. Let me find it real quick. It's 10 minutes of doing something is more valuable than 10 hours thinking about doing something, if that makes sense. So I probably butchered that a little bit, but it's like those 10 minutes of actually doing it will always be more valuable than just thinking about it. People think about stuff forever. Like, how many people do you know who like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. I'm gonna, like, people never actually do it. Just like say, fuck it, go do it.
Dude, appreciate you coming on, bro. I know we've been talking for a while and stuff about it, and we'll definitely keep in touch. I knew it was going to be a fire. I'm shocked that a Bobcat and a Grizz could have a good conversation. So
yeah, I know. That's because we're not from the state of Montana. Otherwise,
that's facts. Appreciate you guys watching. Great, dude. That was actually our first interaction we've ever had. Wish him all the best at Bleacher Report. He's going to do some big things. Appreciate y'all for watching. Thanks for tuning in, and peace.